Ten.
Stand by to take studio.
8, 7, 6.
Stand by camera 1, mics 1 and 2.
3, 2, 1.
Take studio.
Good morning, MCHS. So welcome to the first episode of season 23 of MCTV News. I'm your host, Luomala.
And I'm Brad Bullock. On today's show, we will be taking a look at the luncheon held for students new to the school and the MCHS golf team. As well, we will introduce you to new staff members in the building for the 2016-17 school year. But first, here's Skylar with our top story.
During the last 2 school years, MCHS took part in a program called Pack Day. Held on one Friday each month, it was an attempt to broaden students' horizons through a series of workplace and seminar-style programs. This year, the school decided to replace Pack Day with a daily cap block. What will this mean for students in the building? Ben Fingler lets us know in this report.
Cap sessions are a new and slightly controversial project proposed by Alberta Education. It's an Alberta-wide initiative to let students get extra help and learn better.
I absolutely, as a teacher in the school, support CAP sessions. I believe that an opportunity for us to reach out and offer special help. I am concerned that we've lost some class time, though, and obviously I want students to have as much class time as possible.
I think the idea is a good one, to be able to give students more access to their teachers. How it's executed will obviously determine how successful the program is, and I think we're trying to lay some decent foundations to set up a successful program that students will hopefully buy into.
I preferred Pack Day, honestly. It's a lot better.
As a teacher, I'm thinking mostly in terms of my English classes and in more specific detail, ORT recovery.
If students need help them. Then be there to help get an extra help session in.
In the near future, we could see a change, so we have a chance to choose what we want to do during the CAP sessions.
Choose where they go. So if they're, say they're in Chem and Bio this term and English, so they need some English help on this day, they can access an English teacher. Next day, go to a Chem teacher. It will be their choice, but they just have to be in a room.
I think that it's going to depend on how the year filters itself out. I certainly expect that I will set up sessions to begin with.
Teachers will be staying in their Block 1 and 2 classes in the morning, giving the students the option to pop in if they need help.
At this point, I'll tell you that it's the best time to learn.
The morning's fun and all because you get to cram for stuff that you didn't do the night before, but during the midday, you actually have homework that you can do.
We'll do it in the afternoons.
I like it in the mornings.
I'd rather do it in the afternoon because then you have all your classes are done for the day and you can do homework from all your classes, not just your ones in the morning.
Despite how controversial these CAP sessions are, there is definitely some good feedback on them.
Well, hopefully kids will get the help they need to make their marks and their academics even stronger than they are already, and it alleviates that at night at home stuff.
For me, it's all about student success for confidence and for competence.
Looking into the future, this course has a great outlook for success. This is Ben Fingler signing off for MCTV News.
From September 21st to the 24th, 21 MCHS students went on the 4th annual Fred Sharman Memorial hiking trip to Yoho National Park. Today we are joined by our fellow MCTV crew member and now professional hiker, Jasmine King, to talk a little bit about the trip. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
First of all, why did you choose to go on this trip?
Well, I chose to go on this trip because through all my years in high school, I never really went on any trips, so I decided why not try the hiking trip. Seems fun.
Was there much wildlife on the trails?
Surprisingly, no, there wasn't a lot. There was mostly just like squirrels.
How many hikes did you guys go on when you were on this trip?
So we went on 2 hikes that were about 20K each, and they were kind of tiring, but yeah.
What was the weather like up on the mountain?
It was pretty good actually. Like for hiking, it was a nice weather. If it would have been any normal day, we would have been freezing. And it even started to snow and rain sometimes.
If you had the chance to, would you go again?
I would definitely go again. It was such a fun experience, and I got to hang out with people that I usually don't hang out with.
And lastly, what is your favorite memory from this trip?
My favorite memory is probably just like the views. They were so incredible, and you got to see so many stuff that you don't see in Warrenville, so it was nice to see something different.
Okay, once again, thanks for joining us today. And coming back after the commercial break, MCTV meteorologist Marcus Jaffray will look at the weather for Canada and Alberta. As well, you'll see our 7-day Morinville forecast.
Okay, back in 30 seconds, guys. Director, do you need anything else?
OMG. Harry Styles and Ariana Grande? Perfect.
Hey, Director, what camera are we taking?
Camera? Mine, of course. Hashtag selfie.
Is the lighting okay, Mr. B?
From this angle? Perfect.
Did I spell the host's name right?
Oh my god, guys, I can't even.
Are you feeling alright?
Oh my god, look at this juicy text Christine texted me.
Hey, Mr. B, here's a snack from the snack shack.
What's that?
You get a little Valley Girl when you're hungry. Better?
Better. Stand by camera 2, mics 2 and 3.
Bonjour. Bienvenue à MCTV. Je suis Kent Lassard.
You're not you when you're hungry. Snack Shack satisfies.
Thank you, Brad. Anyway, on with the weather in the country. Let's see. Well, it's fairly stormy up in northern Canada, and down in the south we see that it's partly cloudy with very good weather. And on the east side we see that things are getting really warmed up, and I can tell that it's going to be a very good day in Canada. Anyway, now in Alberta we see that it is a 15 degrees in Fort McMurray with some storms brewing in the south at Banflet, Calgary, and Medicine Hat. And we can see that it is a very good day also in here. But I doubt that it's going to last. That's just a feeling I have. Anyway, it is also very. It's also a very fine. It is fine weather here, also with 9 degrees, wind miles at 7 kilometers an hour, with relatively humidity at 79%, and this is probably going to last until 7:19 p.m. Now for the weekend, it's going to be fairly low. It's going to be fairly low if rainstorms threatening as well on Saturday and Sunday. But we can tell it won't last for Monday and Tuesday, so it's fairly good. Back to you, Brandon.
Every year, a number of new students come from across the country to our humble town, and in the process, switch to our school for their educational needs. It's a daunting experience for many, and that's why MCHS puts together a lunch for them at the beginning of the school year, to make them feel more at home. MCHS MCTV co-host, Skylar Luomala brings us this story.
This year, MCHS welcomed 30 new students to our school. For some, adjusting to a new school can be difficult and daunting. So to help these students adapt to a new school environment, MCHS hosts an annual New Student Luncheon. But what is the New Student Luncheon?
Coming into high school can be tricky because a lot of people have been here for a while and they have their own friends, and so they're not always as welcoming maybe to other students coming in. the luncheon is really important. We had some students that were here today that they had not yet met anybody in the school. So I think that when we have a lunch like this, it gives them an opportunity to see some of the other people that might not have a big peer network yet. It just gives students a familiar face to see in the hallway, even if it's just in the hallways, someone to say hi to and start to build a bit of a connection with.
It was really fun, and it was really nice to be able to come out and meet everyone, meet all the new students and the teachers. They're all super nice, and it was just, I wasn't expecting it, so when I got invited, I was super excited.
Mrs. Blackburn shares some insight on what she thinks new students struggle with the most when coming to a new school.
It gets a little difficult as students get older to I don't want to say break into a group, but a lot of these students have been together for an awfully long time. It's difficult to walk up and say, hey, you know, my name's so-and-so, you know, can I hang out with you? It's just uncomfortable.
The luncheon is not the only thing the school does to help new students.
Well, the luncheon is kind of just a kickoff for them. Other things that we do is often the teachers will do kind of a bit of a mentorship program where we will buddy them up with other students from their class until they kind of get to know where everything is and kind of the ropes of how things go. Often we'll go and kind of shoulder tap lots of them for different groups and things that are starting up. So if basketball's starting up or auditions for the drama club or the play or whatever, we'll kind of encourage them to get involved that way. Those are probably the two biggest things that we do right now for them.
So if you see any new students, be sure to give them a warm MCHS welcome. Reporting for MCTV News, I'm Skylar Luomala.
Welcome back. I'm Sailor Tarzwell, and here's what's happening in the world of sports. In the majors, Carrera and Donaldson had one home run each to help the Blue Jays beat Baltimore. Orioles 5-1. Only in their second game back after the tragic death of star pitcher Jose Fernandez, the Miami Marlins were outmatched 12-1 by the Mets. And in Houston, the Astros doubled the Mariners 8-4. Week 4 of the NFL is upon us with several key matchups. The Bengals will try to avoid their third straight loss against the Dolphins. Oakland will attempt to be the first team to beat Baltimore, and the Kansas City Chiefs rolled into Pittsburgh to play the Steelers. Week 15 in the CFL sees Edmonton trying to build on their victory last week against BC as they play the Bombers in Winnipeg. Calgary will play their first game since the murder of their defensive back Marilyn Hicks, taking on Hamilton, and the Redbacks will try to hold on to in first place in the East with a win against the Lions at BC Place. In the World Cup of Hockey, Canada faced off against Team Europe in the first of the best three final, winning 3-1. Stamkos, Markin, and Bergeron all scored, with Carey Price making 32 saves. Team Canada can clinch the tournament with a win tomorrow night. NHL preseason match continued last night with the Flames beating the Jets 3-0. Florida doubled Nashville 2-1, and the Caps lost to the Habs 5-2. Turning to MCHS sports, the JV girls volleyball team were in action in Barrhead this past weekend at the annual BCHS JV tournament. After losing to Edson in the semis, they rebounded to beat Fort Saskatchewan Stingers in the consolation final, taking third place. Coming up next, Bradford Bullock takes a look at the first MCHS team to compete every school year, and is not who you might think. Coach Cliff ROWEIN organizes the MCHS golf team, whose season lasts a very short 2 weeks. He caught up with the coach and several players and files this report.
The beginning of the school year marks the start of the MCHS golf team's practice. The golf season at MCHS only runs until September 19th. By then, the trees are barren and golf is all but over. Coach Cliff ROWEIN and player Scott Hills say why they enjoy golf.
My favorite thing about golf is that it's an individual sport that is always challenging you as the individual. No matter how or your ability level, you can always go out and try to beat that level.
I really like just being in the outdoors, playing with some friends, having a good time. It's always fun just to get out and do something other than just sit at home. I try to play golf once or twice a week if I can, if it works with my work schedule. If not, I just try to get out as much as possible.
Scott may be a returning player, but he knows there's some good young competition.
I hope so. It would be really nice. There's a lot of good competition to play against, but it would be nice to play again in the tournament. It was really fun last year.
Chad Mopati says why he enjoys the golf tournament.
Because it gets me a chance to get out of school, and it gets me to have a chance to play a nice round of golf on a nice day, and gets me to play with other kids around the...
There were some other good comments about the zone golf tournament.
Represents the school good. Having a good group of guys out there is always a good time, and just hang out with some friends I never really get together with.
The team certainly had high hopes for the zone tournament.
Is to shoot around under 80 and to be in the top 3. And
At the zone tournament, we finished second last year, so I would be hoping the top 5 finish out of 9 teams. I think that'd be great.
I would obviously play as good as I can, shoot better than what I did last year, and obviously get some good scores for our team so we can come in first place this year instead of second or third.
The golf team finished third at this year's zone tournament and will look to have a better result next year. For MCTV News, this is Brad Bullock reporting.
Let's take a look at what's going on at MCHS this week. Any students interested in firefighting as a career should attend a very important meeting tomorrow at lunch in room 107. Morinville Fire Chief Brad Bodez will be at the school to answer questions about a student volunteer program. Application forms are available in Student Services. Concordia University will be here tomorrow at lunch to answer your questions about programs there and requirements to be accepted into them. The meeting will be held in room 101. Orange Shirt Day is Friday the 30th. Please wear an orange shirt to honor the experiences of residential school students. Don't have an orange shirt? You can purchase one online at www.safeandcaring.ca/orangeshirtday2016. The Northern Alberta Institute of Technology will be holding its annual open house on Friday, October 14th, and you can be there. Pick up a form from Mr. Maslick or Student Services to secure one of 45 available spots on a first-come, first-served basis. Need to get your MCTV News fix? If so, head online to www.bidostine.net to get your fix. Our digital archive is expanding and will soon include all episodes aired during our last 23 seasons. For these and all other school information, keep connected by listening to the daily announcements in Block 3, logging on to the school's website at www.mchs.gsacred.ab.ca, following the school on Twitter at MCHS Wolves, or searching the hashtag MCTV News.
Whether it was because of better opportunities outside of school or retirement, we were sad to see them go. But with the new school year comes many new faces, and Sailor Tarzwell makes the introductions.
September marked the beginning of the 2016-2017 MCHS school year. This brings in an influx of new students, such as the grade 9s coming from Primo, the grade 10s coming from Legal School, and transfer students. The new students often overshadow the new staff that we welcome to MCHS, who are faced with the daunting task of taking over for a previous teacher and making the classroom their own. Despite these challenges, the MCHS new staff are keeping a positive outlook.
I love how modern and bright the school is, and just, I suppose, the maturity of the students.
Transferring schools can be very intimidating for anyone, and educational faculty are no exception. The reputation of MCHS for having a friendly student body has made the school a welcoming environment for new staff to call home.
Being here, I gotta say, the students, the community, the staff have been super nice. Really going out of their way to make me feel at home here. They have been so pleasant. They ask me lots of questions, which I appreciate too. Some people are quiet and stuff like that, which is fine, but the majority of staff and students have really struck me as being just excellent people.
As new staff bring in their new teaching styles and personalities, they also have new expectations. Making sure their students get the resources they need and have them succeed is the main goal.
You know, making sure students get the graduation requirements that they need, hopefully offer the courses that the students want, instill that work ethic in people and students and staff, and hopefully have a little bit of fun along the way too, because that's important.
I'm hoping to bring humor and enthusiasm to the classroom, and hopefully working at a junior high, I can bring in a little bit of that and just laugh.
Teachers like Mrs. Baker, Mr. Thompson, Mrs. Sidio, Mrs. Morin, and Mr. Hinks are busy trying to settle into MCHS. The support that the staff and students have shown makes everything a little easier. Reporting for MCTV News, Sailor Tarzwell.
That's our show for today. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to join us for our 320th episode. Pieces will include reports on the additions for our school's Christmas musical. We'll also explore the history that happened on the 5th of October, as well as an expose on the drama and MCTV classes here at MCHS. All this plus sports and your 7-day weather forecast on our next episode of MCTV, Wednesday, October the 5th.
That was it was good for our first episode after a year being gone.
It's been a while since I've done it.
Yeah, it's good to be back again for a final year of MCTV. Everyone looks so promising this year that I'm excited for our future episodes.
So am I.
From all of us at MCTV News, I'm Skylar Luomala.
And I'm Brad Bullock. Thanks for tuning in.